From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is Wake Up Weather.
Good Monday morning to you. I'm Kelly Rawson here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with a check at your forecast. We are live at 6 a.m. It is Monday morning. I don't know about you, but I was pretty slow to start my day this morning. But hey, it is Monday, so that is our excuse. We have a lot to talk about in this weather update. We are going to be hot and humid for today, and not only today, but for the next several days. Heat and humidity is here, probably the hottest air of the year so far. We'll also talk about thunderstorm chances for today as well as for the rest of the week here in this weather update. Let's go ahead and start with what is going on right now. In fact, we have a heat advisory that will be in effect this afternoon for the entire Tennessee Valley viewing area. So you've heard it here. Make sure you're taking your heat precautions, especially this afternoon. That means taking breaks if you are going to be outside for long periods of time, and being sure to stay hydrated. Check on your neighbors and loved ones and keep those pets inside. It is going to be too hot. If it's too hot for humans, it is too hot for pets as well. Scanning on live Viper Doppler radar, we are dry for now. We had a few thunder showers just east of Lincoln County in southern middle Tennessee a few minutes ago, but we are continuing to scan a dry sky. But again, we are already off to a warm start. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s across the region. Some patchy fog developing, not a widespread issue by any means, but especially into southern middle Tennessee and closer to the river, and north and northwest Alabama and parts of Madison County as well. So just be mindful of that. Again, maybe just leave an extra minute or two and just be sure to take your time on the roads if you do encounter that fog this morning. But looking overhead Lawrenceburg, we are looking at a mostly sunny sky, not really seeing much fog in the distance. Good morning to you folks. Not many travelers this early Monday morning along Highway 43 through the main stretch of town. Temperatures in the mid 70s. Same story for Columbia. Again, just a few clouds off in the distance. Otherwise, a mostly clear sky and a calm start to the day. But again, we are hot and humid already. It's only going to get worse from here, unfortunately. Looking at Florence, and we see just some lower clouds, some fog settling into parts of the river, but temperatures in the mid 70s. So we are pretty much in the mid 70s across the board. We're looking at a mostly clear sky across the board as well to start off our Monday. Over the next few hours, we should be remaining mostly dry. Can't rule out a thunder shower popping up before around lunchtime just because we are going to be so hot and so humid today. However, heading into around lunchtime, around 12 o'clock, and beyond, just kind of like a typical summertime afternoon, we will start to see some thunderstorms pop up on the radar. You see here, just kind of sporadic and scattered in nature. But again, that chance is certainly still there this afternoon. Now, the good thing about any thunderstorms this afternoon is, hey, that'll work to cool us off, even if it is just briefly. So temperatures, aside from any thunderstorms, will be in the low to mid 90s, very hot, very humid. Again, that heat advisory will be in effect this afternoon. Heading into the later afternoon and into the evening, we will be watching around and east of Interstate 65 for some sort of a linear feature that would be breaking up as it gets into our viewing area. May see some gusty winds with this cluster if it makes it this far westward into our viewing area. So we'll watch for any sort of linear feature on the radar, especially to our north, to see if that will impact us later on this afternoon and into the evening. But for that, we do have evening and night rain chances with those thunderstorms potentially lingering into and beyond sunset. So just something to keep in mind for this evening as well. The thunderstorm activity may not quite be over as we lose our daytime heating and as we lose the sunshine for this afternoon. Now, heading into the rest of the overnight, and mainly after midnight, I think we should be all in the clear and we should be dry. Maybe some fog settling in, especially if it rains anywhere late into the evening. And for your Tuesday, again, maybe a few thunder showers early in the morning because we're going to be so hot and so humid. And then we stay unsettled for your Tuesday, with just isolated pop-up thunderstorms possible. Not a great chance. Today is going to be the better chance of the next few days, but we can't completely rule out those thunderstorms popping up again just because we are going to be so hot and so humid. That isolated chance will continue over the next few days as we stay a little bit unsettled. But again, the heat and humidity is certainly going to be the main story with thunderstorms around or just over your area over the next few days. main story, like I said, going to be the heat and the humidity. And when you pair the heat and the humidity, that's where you get the heat index value, or what it's actually feeling like outside. So that's why sometimes you see the thermometer reading at 90 degrees, but it feels a lot warmer than that because the air is thick, the air is humid, so it's feeling a lot warmer than it actually is. Air temperatures in the low to mid 90s over the next several days. And then heat index values well into the triple digits, potentially pushing upwards of 110 degrees in some locations over the next few days. So again, heat advisory for today. In fact, some locations already have a heat advisory that is essentially pre-issued for the next few days. So the heat and humidity here to stay. Again, need to be taking your heat precautions, especially if you're going to be working outdoors. More on that here in just a moment. But your morning drive looks mainly calm and uneventful. We'll have some clouds in the area, maybe a few thunder showers in the area, but better chances heading into this afternoon. Temperatures in the mid 80s by the time we get to the late morning and into the early afternoon. Now here's a look at the heat index hour by hour heading into the rest of today. Again, air temperature is going to be getting up into the low to mid 90s this afternoon. Heat index values, especially between 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. That's when we're going to see those triple digit heat values. So that is when you especially need to be taking your heat precautions. So here are a few rules of thumb, especially if you are going to be working outdoors. I know that is the story for a lot of folks. Unfortunately, the weather does not totally call you off for work. But again, just be staying hydrated, more water than you think. I know you may need to take a few more trips to the bathroom today or the next few days, but it will be well worth it to stay hydrated. Every 20 to 30 minutes, be sure you're taking a break and drinking some water. And again, take regular breaks. There is nothing wrong with taking breaks, especially if you have a cold rag or a fan that goes around your neck, or if you have air conditioning nearby, be sure to take those breaks, or even heading into a car, cranking up the AC for a little bit, giving yourself a break from the heat. Even shade is better than just the beating sunshine. So again, take your heat precautions for today, check on your loved ones, and keep those pets indoors in the air conditioning, and make sure they have some extra water as well. Over the next few hours, temperatures will rise into the low to mid 90s, again with those heat index values well into the triple digits, with those thunderstorms popping up mainly around and just after lunchtime, and then continuing into sunset and beyond for today's forecast. Heading into the rest of the week, we stay hot, we stay humid. Again, that is the main story over the next several days. Air temperatures in the mid 90s, heat index values well into the triple digits, pushing 110 degrees in some locations. And because we are going to be so hot and so humid, can't completely rule out those pop-up thunderstorms Tuesday, honestly, through Friday, until we have a little bit of higher rain chances heading into this weekend. That's why we'll call it slightly cooler, lower 90s as opposed to the mid 90s. But hey, we will take what we can get. So again, stay cool, stay hydrated, be mindful of your surroundings, and as always, if thunder roars, head indoors. That's a check at your local weather forecast this morning. I will be back at 8 a.m. with your next weather update.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.